Good afternoon. Preamble, fundamental rights and fundamental duties. This one is the text which is prescribed for our syllabus. See here, the following sections have been taken from the Constitution of India that was adopted by Constituent Assembly and became effective on January 26, 1950. At the time of its adoption, it contained 395 articles and 8 schedules. The focus of this chapter, apart from the preamble, is on the rights and duties of an Indian citizen contained in Part 3 and Part 4 of the Constitution. The Constitution of India is approximately about 1,45,000 words long and was framed after debates and sessions spread over about a period of 3 years. It was at the time of its adoption the longest constitution in the world. See here, we have the primary information about the given prose is that this is taken from Constitution of India. The Constitution of India was adopted by Assembly of Government of India on 26th January 1950, in which we have 395 articles and 8 schedules, where 395 articles and 8 schedules are there. It is one of the longest constitution in the world. The preamble serves as an introduction to the Constitution of India and creates awareness of the basic rights and duties of every citizen of the country. As citizens, we are entitled to certain rights such as right to freedom of speech, freedom of practice, any faith, etc. And Article 12 to 35 outline the extent of these freedoms and what each of them implies. In addition, as citizens, there are several civic duties that we are expected to perform, such as abiding by the Constitution and valuing our nation's cultural heritage. Thus, in order for us to be better citizens, it is imperative that we be aware of our fundamental rights and civic duties. See here, this one is the information about the text, where we have information that the Constitution of India was adopted on the 26th January 1950, and where we have 395 articles are there and 8 schedules are there, in which the articles 12 to 35 outline the extent of freedom, which implies the freedom of speech, freedom of practice, freedom of faith, etc. Where it is imperative that we be aware of our fundamental rights and civic duties, as the government of India or the Constitution has given us the rights, but at the same time we have to perform some duties also, so as to here protect or for our civil society and Constitution of India and our democracy. We have the information in the initial part of this prose about the preamble. preamble we the people of India, having solemnly resolved the constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all in its citizens. Preamble is we the people of India have solemnly resolved constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic where justice, liberty, equality and fraternity is important. Justice in means of social, economic and political, liberty of thoughts, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all. Fraternity is also one of the important points in the preamble, assuring the dignity of the individuals and the unity and integrity of the nation. It is nothing but a fraternity. These are the 4 points which are justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. In our Constituent Assembly, these 26 days of November 1949 hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. Here there are some fundamental rights. We will see 3 to 4 rights. Citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. At the commencement of the Constitution, every person who has his domicile in the territory of India and citizenship may be given to whom? Who was born in the territory of India, or either whose parents was born in the territory of India, or who has been ordinarily resident in the territory of India for not less than 5 years immediately preceding such commencement shall be a citizen of India. Here, the citizenship of India may be given to the person who is by birth Indian or whose parents are Indian by birth, or a person who resided in India for more than 5 years may be claimed to be a citizen of India. Then, while speaking about the same in general, in this part, unless the context otherwise requires, the state includes the government and the Parliament of India and the government and the legislature of each of the state and all local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of the government of India. Laws inconsistent with or in derogation of the fundamental rights. All laws in force in the territory of India immediately before the commencement of the Constitution, in so far as there are inconsistent with the provisions of this part, shall to be extent of such inconsistency be wide. In this article, unless the context otherwise requires, law includes any ordinance, order, bylaw, rule, regulation, notification, custom or usage having in the territory of India the force of law. The next point is in the same connection, laws in force includes laws passed or made by a legislature or other competent authority in the territory of India before the commencement of the Constitution, are not previously repeated, notwithstanding that any such law or any part thereof may not be then in operation either at all or in particular areas. Nothing in this article shall apply to any amendment of the Constitution made under the Article 368. Here, in general, we have first part, that is about the definition, where we have seen that unless the context otherwise requires, the state include the government and the parliament of India and the government and the legislature of each of the state and all local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of the government of India. And then we have seen laws inconsistent with or in the derogation of the fundamental rights, where we have mainly 3 points. In point number 3, there are 2 parts, A and B. This is about the fundamental rights which are given to every citizen of India by Constitution of India, which was accepted on 26th January 1950. And then right to equality. Right to equality. Everyone is equal before law. In the same connection, equality before law. The state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the law within the territory of India. Means each and every person is equal. Every person in the nation or in our India should be treated as equal, and there should not be any type of the discrimination. About the discrimination, the next point is in the same connection, where it is stated that prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on ground only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. No citizen shall, on ground only of the religion, race, caste, or sex, place of birth, and any of them, be subject of any disability, liability, restriction, or condition with regard to access to shops, public restaurants, hotels and places of public entertainment, the use of wells, tanks, bathing ghats, roads and places of public resort maintained wholly or partly out of the state fund or dedicated to the use of the general public. See here, there shall not be any discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, his area or his place of birth, and at the same time any disability, liability, restriction or condition with the regard. Everyone can access shop, public place, restaurant, hotel, place of public entertainment, and the wells, tanks, bathing ghats, roads, places, public resorts maintained by the government or partly maintained by the government shall be open for each and every person. There should not be any restriction, there should not be any discrimination, because these things are included in our constitution. The reason behind it is that before independence there was discrimination on the basis of religion, there was discrimination on the basis of caste in India. Here, while adding these things in our constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar studied sociology, psychology of India, and considering and on discussing and on studying socio-psychological situation, socio-political situation of India, these things are very necessary to be added in our constitution, and now it is a part of our preamble. With this point, I would like to conclude. We will continue the same in the next part. Okay, thank you, good day.